Yeah.
Michael Kusa.
She's there.
I couldn't quite hear. Is it my turn to say I'm present? Because Shelley Lacey cast a lot if it's the right time.
Second. Aye.
There's not a mic.
You have to, oops. I'm turning mine.
There's should be a mic there, no? Oh, okay. Oh, there was supposed to be a mic there.
Hi everyone. I sent the school and the board report to the school. So first I'll talk a little bit about our report. And really we're off to a good start, right? A month in and our 6th grade is adjusting to middle school, 7th grade is going light on the main floor, and our 8th grade is learning leaders of the school. As far as our enrollment, I think the word on the street is Oxford Middle School is a great place to be. So we've had 20 new enrollments at the end of August, and we're looking at one more next week. So we are at 410 students, and we'll be at 411 next week. 7 in grade 6, 5 in grade 7, and the most in grade 8. So we are at the tail end of iReady. We're doing makeouts right now. We have a great presentation on to our 8th graders about rescue dogs. State Trooper Matt Warren came in and does a really nice job with the kids, talking to them about the connection between 9/11 and the rescue dogs that we do. We had our first hometown hero recognition. It will be next week. And our art club is going to be working on the mural. Our club is new this year, so they're going to be working on the mural for hometown hero. We're excited about that. And speaking of clubs, we had a presentation with the students yesterday, a slideshow about all the clubs that are offered at Oxford Middle School, and those are going to be next week for students to join. So when it comes to SRBI, we're at the midpoint of quarter 1 this Friday. We're already halfway through quarter 1, which is crazy to even think about. Teachers are working with students this week around their academic goals. Students are sitting with teachers, pulling up their Power School. They're talking about goals they have, about their grades, and attendance letters will start to go out. The attendance committee is going to meet, and we're going to start analyzing iReady scores once the makeups are done. So that's the work we're doing around SRBI, right? Any questions on the report before I move into the school improvement plan? Okay, so the district at, the high school and Quaker Farms went through their school improvement plans based on the district goals, and that's the same thing for Oxford Middle School. The district goals to create our goals, which then turned into the goals that teachers created last Friday afternoon on the half-day meeting. So when we look at goal number 1, that's all around academic performance and attendance. And at the middle school level, when it comes to attendance and tardiness, we really look at parents as partners, right? Our students can't drive yet. So it's a lot on parents when it comes to getting students to school on time and getting to students to school at all. So we're really trying to forge partnerships with parents and be proactive when we see tardies starting early, pulling parents in when we see them, having conversations, talking about a big yellow school bus that gets to school on time, and that could be an option, and different things we could do to partner to get their child to school on time. So that's what we do when it comes to attendance and tardy. And then on the other end, we have the attendance letters, the robocalls will start next week. We have the tardy letters that go out, and the attendance team that meets regularly. When it comes to academic performance, our scores are trending upwards, but they're not at pre-pandemic levels. So the focus for this year, last year was my first year. I started in October. It was a lot of listening, a lot of learning, a lot of understanding. Now this year, it's really hitting the ground running with a focus on instruction. So we are doing very well when it comes to our pacing right now. Ms. Snap and I have been in classrooms, we're watching to see where pacing is and where instruction is. We're both meeting with teachers for goal setting meetings right now, and we're asking those questions about where do you see your students, and a lot of teachers are saying that this year feels more normal in terms of students' stamina and students' desire and will to be learners. So that's really great to set us up for the future. Like I said, we are awaiting the iReady diagnostic result analysis because we have some makeups. Our 6th graders took a little bit longer to do the iReady, so we have some makeups that we're doing for that. When it comes to goal number 2, that's all around the attributes of the graduate, and the new rubrics around that we are going to create around the attributes of the graduate are really the skills that students need to get better in. There are those what companies and what colleges and what everyone looks at as those soft skills. And our students, we practice those at every turn of the road. Even when our students come into the office, they're generally a little bit, it's hard for them to make eye contact, to be effective communicators, but I use those as teachable moments. And I say to them, okay, you need to look, you need to project your voice, and you need to tell me what you're here for, right? They tend to want to look down, not effectively communicate or collaborate, and they're getting better at that, especially our 6th graders. And then the other big thing in school goal number 2 is our new schedule. So our scheduling committee will have their first meeting next week. I also have an O92 intern, who is a current teacher, who's going to work on the schedule as part of her project. It's a really great learning experience for her, and we're going to really work out the new schedule for 23-24 that preserves instructional time, but also takes into consideration some of the needs and challenges of the current schedule that we have. When we look at district goal number 3, goals that, like I said, goal setting is happening with staff. Currently, goal number 3 is all around evaluation and supervision. And I did complete walkthroughs of our brand new staff because we have brand new staff to the building, already went in, got a handle on their teaching style, and teachers that are new to our building but not new to the district. Popped in there, got to see how they're adjusting to the middle school. And I think that the staff knows that I really believe in the power of feedback. I really believe in the evaluation system. Ellen and I used the evaluation system with fidelity last year. Every observation was done. Every goal meeting was done, and we used it as a time to really give feedback to feed forward for teachers' personal growth. And the teachers were very open to that. We're also going to do, just like all the other schools, in October, after our second PB afternoon, we're going to implement instructional rounds where teachers go to see each other teach first before they go in their own buildings, before they move on to do instructional rounds in the district. And just like my colleagues have talked about, it builds trust, and colleagues love feedback from each other, and I think that starts the process off really well. We also have a new template for all of our meetings, and I joke because the new template has a minute taker and a note. It has a minute taker, a note taker, and a timekeeper, and everybody races to look to see, is it my turn? Am I the note taker? Am I the timekeeper? And it's a funny little joke that we have. So we model the learning targets and success criteria on our agendas. Goal 5, which is the district goal 5 around communication. At our school, the one-stop shop for everything about Oxford Middle School is on the OMS weekly update. I'm sure you guys see it on Saturdays when you see the update. I try to put everything in there so parents know that any questions that they have should be answered in there. News, pictures, announcements, the presentation we did on clubs was in there on Friday. Any kind of way that, again, we use parents as partners for the students' education. And then when it comes to community outreach projects, I was so impressed last year with the way that the teachers in the building help students to take civic action and to give back to the community, whether it's on student council, an athletic team, or in the classroom environment. We're just going to capitalize and build on that to keep giving back to the community as we go forward. So we have 2 school-specific goals, and one is around cultivating a culture of literacy, and the other is around promoting kindness and positivity. Middle schoolers sometimes engage, I know it's hard to believe, but engage in unkind behavior, right? It's the age, it's everything going on. So we're really trying to work with them about what it means to be kind, to be positive, to see everyone in that light, and really just not to engage in the drama, you know, and that's what we're trying to work out. So we have lots of ways that we're doing that with students and with our support staff. And then, you know, the library is sort of a pet project of mine in terms of, I feel like the library media should be the literary hub of the school, and it has been left unattended a little bit. So this summer I did some work on the library, and now moving into the fall, we got our Destiny subscription fee. It's been brought back, and so we can use the Destiny system to monitor check in, check out. I have some PTO parents who may be helping and volunteering again as partners with us to shelve books. They found a PTO meeting, I had a couple reach out, and then students and volunteers to do that work. And we're also going to be really promoting that idea of having that independent reading book with you at all times. So if you have a little bit of downtime, it's the time to read. We try to model that. Teachers talk about and model YA books that they're reading. I often tell staff that I'm reading, and I do little excerpts from what I'm reading when it comes to education and the development of this age group. I just read to them from a book I'm reading at the last staff meeting. And so we just want at every turn for the students to see how important it is and to have that love of literacy. So that is any of the goals.
The first one is district goal 1. We talk about attendance. How is attendance for the team? For a while, we had a problem with substitutes and not having them.
We still have that major shortage. Teachers are allotted 18 sick days and 5 personal days by contract. There's nothing I can do about that. So when people fall out, we do everything we can, but we simply don't have substitutes. And I just actually emailed Dr. Miller today and said, I need help. I need you to get me, I need a different solution than we have now. So I know I'll defer to you a little bit about what you're thinking, what you got to work when it comes to this.
On average, how many teachers would you say are out of that?
It depends. Today we had 8 teachers on without coverage.
So how many do you have covered? Without coverage, meaning
We had to scramble. I covered a class, Ms. Knapp covered a class.
we had more than 8 staff out. Is that just-
We had 8 staff out that didn't have subs. Altogether, there were 12. Because we also had CT SENS training for special education staff, and that was during school day.
So some were not absent, they were at workshops.
Just CT SENS training, yes, a few were. But 3 of those didn't need some coverage. They were support staff, so.
Now,
maybe I-
maybe Robert said cover this, but, you know, obviously contractually, but, you know, 6 days are supposed to be when you sit. And somebody sit every Monday and Friday, and that's pattern.
Of course, and we do have those conversations.
That's part of the.
Right, that's under, domain 4.
Right.
Right.
In your items that take place, sometimes you'll see an increase in the fall, you'll see an increase with spring, you'll see May, early, you'll see those events go up and like surprise.
My second question has to do with the hiring and testing. How do you decide who's in the SRBI? It's based on the scores that I think you're going to need a ton of coverage for that, and probably not going to be able to have enough staff. So what's the plan?
Right, so those scores were from last year. We're waiting for the diagnostic scores for this year, and then we'll take a look and we'll triangulate the data. So iReady is just one piece of the puzzle, right? So we'll look at performance in class. We'll also look at past SBAC scores, and we'll triangulate with the SRBI and decide what the cutoff will be for that.
Just wondering if you could take this data to the board of finance, if you're gonna heads up. It's like, there is-
When it comes, am I on? No. About when it comes to SRBI, we did a lot of work in changing the model from high school that really expanded services at the high school level. We've had a conversation in the middle school until we change the middle school schedule and make it more amenable to SRBI. There is limitation to what we can provide there. There might be some flexibility in looking at tutors at Quaker and Grado to see if there's any way that we could pull some of those services from the elementary schools to the middle school. But right now that we just, from a scheduling perspective, we cannot meet all the SRBI needs in that building right now.
Right, so we have students in SRBI already, based on the performance last year. So SRBI is already up and running with students, but now, once we get this data, and we look at the midpoint of the first marking period, then we'll, in the teacher recommendation, we'll triangulate that to see, what new students be added in, what students might be able to exit based on their progress with this iReady, and so we'll see from there. And then you have the WIP, which is that would be the replace time that class WIP is the time that we use. Now, flex you use some for some executive functioning services, get kids organized, people can do some of those transition goals during that time, but the majority of the SRBI are. That's something that we're really going to investigate within the schedule, if that's the best.
Just real quick, I just saw the gaps in field of students that are required at 35? What's the average absent?
So we're in a new year now, right? But our absentee rates, it all depends. I don't know if I can give you like an average on a day but today was a very light day for student absences. We only had maybe in the entire school 13 students out, but it all depends. You know, it depends if a stomach bug is running, or it depends if different things. I had a student accidentally tell me he was going to the big E, and I said, "Oh, I'm not sure you wanted to tell me that." And he's like, And I said, "Remember, only certain number of absences, you know." So it's that parent partnership around how important it is to be in school. And that, you know, chronically absent is that, well, truant is 10 days in 1 month. And then chronically absent is 10%, so it's 18 school days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is a lot. So,
So I guess, is there ever like a DCF referral done?
yes, yeah, once you hit 10 in a month,
Okay.
it gets the ball rolling. Yeah.
And the problem is statewide attendance was really, really poor across the entire state last year. Yeah. But it is an area of concern, which is why we identified it as a major goal for us for this year, and why you see it reflected in the school improvement plans in all the schools, because we want to see attendance improved.
I mean, you have 35 kids that are chronically absent. It's not helping the scores.
It impacts in many different ways.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No, I just gotta say, all right, thank you.
Usually I have the fortune of following Rachel here in their own races. Tonight I have the opportunity to follow Rachel and Sylvia. So I'll try to not be too repetitive with higher level. I'd like to start with a board report prepared to two-page document. Before I do that, I just want to say welcome back. And thank you for your support over the past few years as we dealt with some very challenging issues. Thank you to the board. Thank you, Dr. Miller. I think that this year, what we're seeing at the start of the school year is the divide and mojo that's happening in that building is exceptional. Parents were walking out the door and saying, "Thank you for getting back into schools." Teachers were so great experience. Students are very enthusiastic about the return of many things. One of the things that was there in the events was that we had first town meeting. Most of you have been to town meetings before, had kids experience town meetings, all about celebrating the children, bringing everybody in to a room about this size and celebrating. So it was a tremendous success. We're celebrating the students who did their summer work over the summer, the trip to the park, and some other types of festivities. There's many other things that are starting to happen back in the school. We went through some town meeting and meet the teacher member. You can see our enrollment numbers very similar to the past. They have not gone up or down dramatically. Not that we haven't had students moving in and out. That certainly happened, but it just hasn't been lopsided. You can see the student activities account. Really haven't had a lot of expenses or revenues at this point in time before we start. So I would ask, do you have any questions with regard to enrollment events or student activities account? Just kind of give you a little bit of highlights with regard to SRPI. You probably heard a lot of this before, but I just wanted to highlight the fact that we've got new forms and we've got some new processes. We're the first time ever technology-based when it comes to SRPI, so we're tracking student forms, student data in our school, and you can see a history of SRPI activities. The handbook went from 60 pages down to a very efficient, say 12 pages with some addendums. So there was a lot of good work done around SRPI to streamline and make it incredible. Very happy about that. I do want to point out that my fourth bullet down our SRPI process very much tuned into our data. So we're looking at every single factor throughout the year, achievement. We measure things like high-rate assessments, benchmark assessments, SBAC assessments, progress monitoring, etc. And so we're in a constant flow with regard to kids being introduced to SRBI services, being reduced from SRBI services, etc. Right now, I'm going to say ballpark, we have about 60 students that are receiving SRBI services in reading, and 60 students that are receiving SRBI services in math. We're in the process of looking at last spring's SBAC data, I-rated data, and we finished our administration of the fall I-rated assessment. So we're kind of translating all that data to determine who kids who are currently in SRBI, if we need to adjust our services, or are there other kids that aren't that need to utilize these services.
It's a good question on that. So there, so I know the whole district's been working on that. So you have a handbook. It's the same.
We created a district handbook this summer.
Right. So
It's the same handbook. Yeah.
Really helpful.
And we had representatives from administrators across the board. Heath was one of the admins this summer that worked on that. And then the whole admin team had a chance to reflect and review on it. And then we brought the SRBI teachers in to also take a look at that work to finalize it before we said this is the final handbook.
Last thing to say about SRBI, I already knew last year, parsed it out. So we can look at third grade, especially third grade, fourth grade, especially see what the effect of those programs had on the students. And I can say with a lot of confidence that students in our SRBI services made as much growth, if not more. There's a lot of good things that are going on here. The goal of our office is to close the gaps. We're looking for more than a year's growth in a year's time. And we're seeing that.
How's that new map look?
Well, I'm going to jump into I'm going to use that as a transition into the school improvement plan.
Second question, do you have the same absentee problem?
I would say not like the secondary level. Typically, absenteeism has not been red flag during the pandemic. It grew, and you'll notice in my school improvement plan that I'm very specific about we want to reduce numbers of kids with chronic absenteeism because the state looks at chronic absenteeism and those things like school performance index, district performance index. As anything greater than 5% of your population, all of a sudden start getting dinged on. We've never been over that 5% mark. I think this year when the reports come out, we're just like that. So my goal is to get it back out.
As you go into our social studies, the criteria on social studies. Is that being implemented?
Well, we're implementing a new study that we've been implementing for probably 10 years now. We're not implementing a new program at this point in time. We've developed a pilot program, which has not come to fruition yet, but we're really interested to move forward.
I was just reading here the social studies, integrated programs or something. A lot more emphasis going to be done on social studies.
We're ready for it. In some grade levels, the social studies curriculum is very conducive to being integrated with DDL. Fifth grade is a great example. It's commonization, revolutionary war. You can do so much. Lay and social studies all together. When you're dealing with more driver topics like states and regions, it's a little more challenging, but it's happening.
Well, I read in here is that one of the criteria is that they know where the states are, where the countries are, the continents are. I saw on TV somebody asked her, what country border the United States, and they said California and Texas. And so at a national level, we're not doing too good.
So I would say we're doing our part. We do a better job, absolutely, forward with whatever's going to happen. Yes. So let's go back to the macro level. But let's look at it as the lens of, I'm more of one in the school improvement plan. And we're following the alignment for the district goals and objectives, superintendent and board goals and objectives, my administrative goals and objectives, teacher goals and objectives. So this reflects the work that's being done. The first part talks about the attendance piece, which I've already addressed. One of the things that I'll say about our student growth and achievement is that our achievement levels are very good. We are above the pandemic levels when it comes to student achievement. Now that there are pockets of things that we still need to address and improve more than, but overall, we've got a new trajectory line of best fit over the last 4 years. We've got our math line of best fit. We're at the highest level in all of so good news. The greater news is when you look at student growth. I read the SBAC have a targeted growth that students are to move from in. When we look at our percentage of students who are meeting their targeted growth, and we're looking at the overall average of the targeted growth met by 5th grade or 4th grade. We're at all-time highs in that by far. And we're also, I wanted to see in context, what does this look like in other towns and districts? When I looked at towns that we typically like to compare ourselves to, surrounding towns, similar towns. And in many cases, we're as high, if not higher than this town, if not just right in the ballpark. So all the work, and this is kudos to the work that the district has done, the staff has done. All the work that we did to first year through pandemic, all the challenges we had paid off, because we're coming out of the end of the session with a lot of good information. I know that we're going to talk about growth and achievement at the October board meeting, so I'm not going to go into detail. There's some graphs and charts in there. You can certainly look at and ask questions if you have any questions. But otherwise, I'd like to move on to goals into 4 and 5.
Is Ireland progressive as far as how the testing said? In other words, SBAC is coming, right? So at the end of the year, this is what kids, what they're being guided or not. So is already, they take already in September to certain amount of skills, or they take it again in January. Is it the same skills asked a different way to see if they now work? Do the skills change and progress like a critical?
So let me start with SBAC. Right? SBAC says at the end of a grade, can you get over the bar and consider that master level? I does the same thing, but it uses that bar in the fall.
Exactly. So you would expect, so that's what I'm saying, so you would expect, if, and it's just when we did our own assessments, we had assessments in the beginning of the year, we really did accept the kids, you kind of see what they knew, new stuff, that's great that they, we're going to be taught. And then in the middle of the year, you expect to see growth, and then at the end of the year. So if that's how high ready is, then you should, and I'm not just asking you this, so is 5 points, reasonable, like 5th grade in DRP, you see 10-point increase in DRP, so
5%.
So they should naturally be progressing, right? So is that after 2 years of that, is this our second? So again, you probably need to get to know what's being tested, all the other stuff. They should naturally be progressing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, so just a couple of thoughts on that. We're looking at 5% points of growth. Percentage of kids who are 5% more kids this year are attaining mastery or above than last year. We're also not 5%, 5% more kids, but we're also looking at 5% more kids meeting their target. So that's not just the bar.
Every student moving, yeah.
So you have your lows and more kids can go to so.
How best do you find ready to be a great tool? Because we had started for a few years and then after right after, are you happy with
instructional platform. So when they take the diagnostic, it says, okay, the student has this strength in this area, this strength in this area. And then
The fire alarm is going off at the high school. I'm hoping that they could be heading up there right now. The fire alarm is going off in the high school right now, so they could be heading up there right now. Yeah, yeah.
so it sets up an individual pathway for every student. And I already recommend 25 minutes on that platform, 3 to 45 minutes on that. And last year we were the state police steadfast. Use that platform along with the instruction in the platform and the weapon programs. So sorry, I'm going to jump ahead to goal number 2. You got to flip through the pages. Things I just want to point out here. This is a goal focused on high quality curriculum and resources. So one of the things we're trying to incorporate in the curriculum is the attributes of the graduate. So we're creating our rubrics. This is not unsimilar to remember a few years back, math practice at the end of the science practice at the end of the STEM practice. Things about precision using tools, perseverance. Those are the types of things that we're trying to incorporate into our curriculum instruction to build those skills. So we described earlier. We are going to be participating in the new curriculum review cycle, the process for getting there. And I've already talked about the SRBI process. I think that's where that lives inside. Go to number 3, systems of feedback. So this is really kind of 2 different things being integrated. One is our town ed eval evaluation cycle, which is that happens the way it's supposed to. And also incorporating instructional rounds, which is largely teachers working with each other to provide feedback. Goal number 5, there is no goal number 4 that didn't pertain to the school. This is talking about efficient strategies and communication tools. Again, talk is something that's sent out weekly from our school. We are interested in participating in whatever we're going to develop as far as district-wide brochure, to establish relationships with the community, and then open door policy. And this is not and then the last thing that I would point out is underneath the action items, you'll see that there's the return of all those things like town meeting, employees for thoughts, and pajama day, and Thanksgiving. It's just reestablished. We started doing that last year, but this year we'll be back to pre-pandemic participation. And then last school number 6, this is focused on school climate. We're really looking for kind of a 3-pronged approach here. We've been largely focused on social emotional learning. We're approaching in the past couple of years, for obvious reasons. We're bringing back the HOTS program, which is a behavior-based program, remote positive behaviors. It has a token system, HOTS tickets and stuff like that. And we're incorporating those elements into our time meetings. It can be recognized for representing the characteristics. So town meetings have returned, HOTS programs returned.
That's good. Thanks.
Thank you. Steph. Yeah. Ellen, thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you.
First of all, we're doing some work with health insurance. We go back and forth with our attorney and our medical insurance consultant. They've given us contract and we do work with them. have to have our horizontal rate for that, and now I think that, the other associations are basically, we'd be hard pressed to get this going for our people. So we're able to make this happen, so we can get out the person and install it, right? We're going to be careful it's not going to work back to maintain. So hopefully we can get this happening. Every month we wait for,
December is half a year.
yeah, every month we wait for development of the and we obviously service for next school year.
And can you link it to every kind of. So it's kind of just changing and coordinating role or.
Right, exactly. Other activities, second activity that is that we sent out. It's not salary wise. It's the partner with them. The goal is to see how they work with us and develop motivate for students, memory and make teachers or public finance obviously like that we work with. And while we have taken example, there are some public activities at both schools actually, which has been noticeable that have been until teachers just haven't set for example, do this and teachers don't hear it, don't inherit other staff members. We can't force them to take extra responsibility. So beyond what we can offer is a something offer organization here now that we can create for our students. Obviously, there's athletics, there are high school activities or park track, but there are other ways that we can create our students that constantly other partnerships and for students here about the application. And to work here, which are SFP, which is to develop and expand conference for students. In terms of staffing, right now we are mostly staffed. The current staffing situation is we have a substitute teacher that will be released the 20th. We posted the rest of all interviews for that position. So there are applicants and hopefully they'll find somebody to teach middle school. Our computer science teacher resigned last week. Right now, it's being filled by the other sub. Exactly, I did send to 780 state. They're not employed. Encouraging them to apply for it up here. If they have anything from that, it's the first week of posting. We had a week part of school psychologist, we recently had a position posted for those mid-August through last week with 0 applicants. And we put in multiple emails to every school to office and say for the line. This past week, a change in staffing that internal cuts and we have a basic psychologist that's going to grade elementary school. So we posted the basic psychologist or as a basic psychologist now. In hopes that connected with the method that would be interested in working at high school level, it wasn't considered in the college position that we're recruiting. So hopeful in the meantime, we have an outside consultant providing additional services for college services to our students in the district. Prior to transfer, we have other folks providing some support, either to manage both support. And we have a lunch monitor that helps open big areas. Pairwise, we are mostly staffed. We have a start and resignation at the same day last week. So we were almost there, but not quite. And this always parents, they always have these worst things right there. Come to the good there, but no, it's really recommended that. The other buildings, have not included here, I think that was archived. A lot of the materials were archive records, that I say a lot of years, with records that have been over to this building. We also have the stat articles in this building, and a lot of the stuff that was in one of the buildings were old computer parts that didn't need to put in some other building, that we rid of. Some of the stuff was protected or stored all the technology that we don't need. And then some of it was old, some usable and some not usable play supplies from the playgrounds here. Some of we did apply that. As of yesterday, our fire routes are cut off. That's whatever they do over there, or a lot of times people walk over. They're the water and basically are so after the current so I'm also looking for updating my status of the roads here in Winter. They're going to build a temporary road between this building right here or to get back or that's what they were doing. They're going to done this building. So yeah, the gate that yeah, I'm hearing there's a rumor that could be putting a temporary road in this building or access. They just start back, right? Oh, yes, yes. But they are, they start for that. Especially when they get. We received notification yesterday that we are receiving around $10,000 to $25 less in the school meals assistance revenue condition fund. Wrong. That's the fund from the federal government to allow us to provide free lunches to students. The initial calculations that we did showed that we would probably be able to supply lunches to students in January. So we're going to be switching over to a service we have not done since the pandemic began. Right now, I have our business consultant and it's into calculations and what this loss revenue means in terms of funding and what it means to the builder. We'll obviously be sort of January professional today. So right now they're looking at every that application.
So this money all kids are getting free lunch in all
Yes,
schools?
yeah, that's the case all last year. Substitutes, you've heard Sylvia mentioned before, that substitutes is a problem. It is a problem. Right now, we do have 66 active subs in our system. However, not every sub either takes the call or accepts the job. I have 66 active subs that were willing to work every single day, not an issue. But most of these people, they can do what they want, and oftentimes they work all the districts. And when it comes to Sunday, we compete in some areas and don't compete in other areas. They could travel to Southford and Monday, and Seymour. They could come there and they go make another day. So they all depend on where they travel. But substitutes is a common red line. Finance committee would have to be looking at potential models of what we can do in order to increase our subs. One is to partner with local university on interns and environmental school, which would provide a permanent person in the building. So that's one school to get educated and focus on construction. That could be moved around by install as needed, multiple times a day. So these are always available. In order to see this, we really need to make the necessary school year. We don't have to do it right now. of the end of the never before we have somebody as an intern. And obviously, you pay for that way to work, so you can pay around 18 to 25 intern. You basically are paying for their classes, they're taking free services for the year. Another option that I think to seriously consider if you want to keep it is a permanent daily sub. Basically, you come up with a grade that's higher than the current budget grade is, and you guarantee that person a job every single day of the year. Now, we are past the first day of school, so we're under 180 school days, so it's not as expensive as day one. If you want to technically have a permanent sub, if you become an employee, we provide the Affordable Care Act, and we need to provide health insurance. Now, we can provide health insurance, but we don't necessarily need to provide any cost savings. So, for example, we have cost sharing employees where employees pay from 19.5% to 22 to 24% of costs. If we provide health insurance, we don't provide any cost share to it. The employee or the daily sub could waive insurance completely, and we're off the hook for the Affordable Care Act. Or they could say that they can't afford it, at which point we don't actually pay for it, and we are penalized by the Affordable Care Act for not providing health care to the person. That costs $41 million. So we're going to do this, that's not going to be to provide insurance, but not actually pay for it. And then let's get defined and have both that first either wage insurance and even that's health insurance, or it's the penalty. So the cost for that all year long is time if it was 180 days, we're looking at between 24 and 27 hours a year for daily sub 180 school days. That range is based on that it's a certified teacher or not certified teacher. And obviously, we pay historically for a certified teacher more money than a not certified teacher. Basically, there's a pay for
And then versus a teacher, and they sub for a certain amount of days, it's 20 consecutive or whatever, don't they get put on set one
only if they're in the same position for 41 days.
or 41?
41 continuous
So the
days.
second grade teacher, 41 days. Okay.
And I asked around some things that were from Richfield through Ansonia, Charlton. There are some districts that have a permanent daily sub and some don't, but that's not when they do it. Intern, you get somebody that's in the building that really knows the students and the teachers and communication, and it's consistent in the building every single day. So if we were to go down this route at this point, that would be around $100,000 for us to invest in from the daily sub for the rest of the school year. We budgeted around $4,000 in certified subs. Now, we can afford to do it, especially if we're not filling our subs to begin with. So I think that's something we have to help the district as we afford it better. The thing I want to do is to alter our sub-rate tier system that motivates subs to stay here. So right now, as I said, we've got subs that bounce around in the district. What we'd like to do is to make cost incentives. So, for example, if you're a sub, you've now worked for 30 days in a row. On the 31st day, you now get a $2 raise or $5 raise. Working for 60 days, and you go the next week, working 90 days the next week. That's $5 cents stay here and not district. In other words, really say, stay here and you get more money. And eventually, you need more money to win some districts. That's what the hope is if we can implement those three or versions of those three, that we can at least increase some consistency. So we're not going to ever create our lower rate. We have 40 teachers not lower rate 40 notes. In this stage right now, that district's not going to even but if we can get permanent subs to buildings that provide some stability, at least gives the engineer some flexibility to get teachers covered. It's still going to be difficult, but at least it's easier to
One is, I thing, I know we talked about it, I believe you did a cross comparison as far as, the sub agencies that are out there. And I think you found it not.
We looked at 2 agencies September 2020, and as an example, they might charge the district $140 for a sub, and that sub is making $80 or $90 of that. So it's good fortune is going to the agency. They are trying to recruit teachers, salaries, and people that are in the schools, provide professional development to them, not necessarily providing health insurance, but providing incentive to work with them. But they're still raising up, not guaranteed. And that's not, they can guarantee that they're going to fill positions, it's worth it. But they can't guarantee the fill rate. So if they can't guarantee it, what's the sort of actual we get a system that would do the same thing.
And the other question was, and I know I asked this to you and gave you the answer, but if you can just give it to the rest of the board, our comparison of staff absence comparatively to other counties.
It's the same. Yeah, essentially every district faces the same situation, but it's Friday difficult. Teachers are pulled out of classes to attend meetings and do some of the things that it's not zero. But Mondays and Fridays are difficult, and there's times a year you get nothing to higher, and COVID does not make it easier. We have to subscribe by the rule that you get. And they get that to get the symptoms that you're not COVID, you're out for 5 days. It's different if that's on the cold, you're out for a day or two. COVID would still need to be out for 5 days, that impact the sick perspective from it does impact our ability for example.
Again, I think what we talked about and forward, we talked about planning. And there's got to be part of the planning is got to be that you show up, and I think that does get. I think it's a remnant of the feedback. So hopefully, just obviously people get sick. The next 20 years, COVID is understandable. Mondays and Fridays stuff, that's gotta be kind of in school and like Sylvie said, and you said, that's part of professional responsibility.
It is part of professional responsibility, and again, in the springtime, you see that was flying, we've got graduation, and other things, and we did create opportunities in all departments for things that gave us more flexible for staff. So it's within their time to use it. We also put some limitations in the latter parts of the year, which put some control in there. But teachers, staff, they are providing opportunities to use the space and hope that they're not using the space.
What is
If you are a non-certified teacher, it's $90.
What is 120?
It's $90 for a non-certified person and $100 for certified. I believe that they're 550 marks. Yeah, I think 550.
It's enough.
the idea?
Yeah, it would be to provide each school with one person. And in the off chance that we had 0 applicants that day, they also Rachel send that person over to this one. Or vice versa, for small. Currently, principals will pull anybody to be trained to themselves. It can be parents, tutors, it can be information. If we are short changing student services across the entire board, in order to just get a body.
But you recognize the problem that creates.
Absolutely. And if we're very to revive it. Yes. That's our gap. Not implement as a right. It's all very problematic. Our solution here differs from the other reach of any other solution. That's how we but it doesn't mean that's the way.
And are you done for or?
I have a couple more quick things.
Okay.
Yeah. I really want to plug the parent showed up to each other last week. We had a room, we had 30 people attending the meeting. I've been attending the meeting for a year now. I think I mentioned one. We had this executive board with 15 minutes. We come into social media to make eight parents last week, and they parents showed up to the meeting, and they were actually out here this past week of Halloween costumes out. Parents I'd not seen before volunteering. So I think we're starting to see it with normalcy. I'm hoping that the district will also see become a parents of their meeting in October. But it was exciting to see parents and talking about fundraisers that we've been done this year. You know, because there's not people that want to participate. So it's exciting to see the normalcy of it. We talked about attendance very quickly. My newsletter entry this coming Saturday is talking about parents partnering with us to make the students come to school. And part of this, letting that we're turning on the future that if your child's out here, you're going to see your phone calls and communication from school. And there's questions happening on that. So I make sure the parents are aware of that. And that's in the email. And then the very exciting thing is their CEP program. We got our students in our 1821 program. That started the CEP Exceptional Express, which is basically a mobile property stand. They've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. There's some office. There will be expanding it out to the schools shortly. They come and set up a table here with a coffee maker, a tea maker. They've got cookies and different snacks, and they have a card that they punch, so you can actually earn some free good after different things. But it's teaching them through life skills, and they're able to, they're counting up the money, they're charging these different dollar amounts of weeks of different goods on people. They're actually making the coffee and making the tea. They're running it. The high school business program is designing logos and they're designing some shirts and stuff like that. They're not that secret partner of the high school class with that. And the member board of ed meeting where that curiosity presents to you so that we can get ready for that. And they'll be available to get some buy some coffee here as well. But it's exciting to see a new shift in that program. Students and bicycles. And we're also looking at the next maybe the basic actually project we want to get this slide that they just go for it. We've been asking for shifting that program, and we're starting to see some changes to that. And I think it's great to see. That's my
The status of the end.
The dam right now is brought over to town. The town is doing a maintenance check on it, which they can do. Moving forward, we need to do it quarterly. Monthly, we're going to do this once. And we're going to make it report and go back to DMV to that operation. Where we can, we're getting it out with the also going to face here.
Have they started going to jobs yet?
They were trying to step up, but they haven't been able to. And that's where the you said that's why I see the example of express is so good because it's getting some of the skills that you're doing outside there. Here, but Christian College has set up for a place in South where they would be all there in windows and they can do the nearby use other work here. So if you write other things that also your account so that once we get going, they can run it literally. but there's things that are there.
Any other questions for Rob?
How's Anthony and Stephanie doing with high school?
Like they're part of working together for years now. They, immediate changes, the nerves recover, lots of need to be cleaned up. But they really are together in work and the professional learning about the thing. It's very positive there, and we're different teachers. I think there's some big work inside what we have learning more. It's just, this is board, you need to make a motion to make changes to the something and make it all work or it's simply going to run into it.
By changes, you're talking about tier.
It's your pay and it's from the other side.
Anybody have any comments about that? So,
Perfect, thank you.
I did have one more question. How is the business manager working out? I mean, the gentleman was, he represented himself very nicely in our finance subcommittee, but I'd love to hear from your perspective how it's going.
Be in that seat right now. I think I did an adequate job. I think I did an adequate job, but there's obviously different level of expertise that this person brings to the table. Obviously, we came from that education line and we did a sufficient job. But I think that having somebody that has done this work for a long time has all the answers. And he knows what he's saying. Would it be lovely to have somebody here in office 5 days a week? Yes. But right now, on days that he's not here, still communicating, you actually have sick. But he's still. But he's still responding to email. We have auditors here, so we can stay working with them. We find the staff happen here, when he's not here. There will be an we receive notification when he's not here. The office here, right? Is this a long-term permanent solution? Probably not. But the internal right now is for agreement to do. It still leaves the domain of human resources and operations office from the South Act. I have a teacher that might be interested to provide some support after school. On the administrative side that consider it as one stuff. So but I think we're moving along. But I think I'm here for anybody in terms of not having somebody that wants to call good experience right now. Other areas not right now. That's where
So do we have a short or long-term plan on how we're going to backfill? And I mean, that individual that might help for some of the admin work on the operations side might help, but we shouldn't wait until, this small problem becomes an enormous problem. We don't want to leave you hanging out to dry. It's been a tough couple of years, and to stretch it any thinner, it just seems almost absurd.
Some organizational structure that some questions are still are I'd like to go along answer before we make a final decision. But again, thinking about where we can go with that.
Great.
Yeah. Joe, facilities.
We are meeting tonight, talk about the new GC, discussion. work that was done over the summer, what was it, like,
Is that something that when the HVAC does come to fruition, is that something that we go on as board or
I think so at some point.
because of the financial?
I mean, it's a town project, but I think that this board should weigh in on, do you approve this or not?
So
Yeah.
that we would have the guide, because we just have educationally some standards that we're not going to, we're not going to back down.
Right.
And again, we talked about it a little bit, like, when we cross that bridge, I think that we should document some of those concerns.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, we had our September meeting, we'll have that. Hopefully we'll have those. Cycle. And, just so, other people know of, checking out the committees and everything. So we do have that document in Google Docs. Things that I think should come up with the plans, curriculum, facilities, and put it, put it in that Google Doc and maybe turn it into it or whatever, because that way it helps the chairs know what to plan for their agendas and, what the board is looking for. Policy. Are we all good as far as the, changing, like our policies are up, they roll over, it's option from the school, it doesn't stay blank.
The policies are all right now on board docs. They were uploaded. We finalized that project probably late spring. Any of the board policies that we have adopted since then are also up there. They're searchable through board docs. You can actually do a search and it'll bring up the policies that match that. The district website and a link to the policies on board docs. Everything is not over there right now.
So when the parent goes to a district website and they go to policies, it'll have a link to board docs. They will obviously unlock it.
It takes them right to board docs, or it takes them right to the public sentence, for the policy, search, and edit. Well, individually one policy at a time, or keywords.
And then the other thing that we understand about it, to have do administration, look at those policies and see the policies. And so
Right. We talked about that later. So basic. But we didn't identify what that structure would look like.
and again, nothing set in stone.
And the premise of it is that we, as a board, adopted all of the shipping code policies, all the required policies. What boards typically do is go through one series at a time on a regular basis, that's maybe one policy once a year. Look at one policy at a time, or policy at a time, or policy at a time, like that. And get information. So a cycle.
Sure. First, I'd like to just say it's great adding the minutes to board docs. So after the meeting's done, you can dump it right in. It was actually pretty straightforward. So our last meeting was September 20th. Rob actually covered a lot of what we discussed, but we're looking at centralizing the financial reporting for the schools. We're requesting a review of how class money is spent at all of the, turning points, whether it's second grade, 5th, 8th, or 12th. So we don't have leftover funds and have an ambiguous or inconsistent way in which the schools handle that excess funds. Rob talked about open positions. We talked about the medical insurance update, which Rob also gave. No, it's okay. He's doing my job for me. So, we as we look towards the finance budget for next year, we're going to be reviewing the cost centers, specifically the ones that garner the most attention, large numbers. But we're going to be reviewing all the cost centers in advance, just to make the process that much smoother. But because last year was so transparent, we're in a good place. So there's not as many unknowns, but it's always good to make sure we're still on the same page. We talked about issues with substitutes, looking at snow removal contracts as well as transportation contracts. Those are both up this year, and we'll need to, see how we're going to proceed. So those should be interesting. Yeah, soon we'll have snow. We're considering a traffic study to look at the schools for pickup drop off. See about getting a quote. I don't know if we have a status update, but at some point we might. Just to look at, because some of the situations are either not efficient or dangerous. So having a study to help us, maybe there's no solution, but at least getting an expert opinion on how we might handle it would be beneficial. So that's that update.
During the conversation, we talked about needing a DJ. And within the time report that we got a DJ at a reasonable price, donated time $2 per night. Their next event is Church Island, which will be September 8th.
That's the question that has to count, because if the road is going to go there, that's going to anyway. So if they do, and then I follow. It's going to be like a gazebo, especially when they did the parks through the summer, they needed to move it with the cars. They got stuck where the woods are right there. But if it's going to have to be moved anywhere to the road, because that's some of the open, and we'll make it permanent. You won't see it because the area is back. And it'll still be there. It's once they have the road.
Oasis, they're getting acquainted with different 75 for projects that they want to do there. But what they're going to be rolling out in the next month or so, or this is just flyers. I'm not sure if they are going to be nailed. I don't know about the distribution, but obviously it's dealing with that. When they show the hills that are, oxycodone, and then they show the ones that are fake, I mean, you cannot tell the difference. And it's got element and 30, or line back 30, and it says fake oxycodone tablets contain fentanyl. And then it shows heroin, fentanyl, and I wasn't familiar with this carfentanil. That's
Really, really cool.
Even more
You
cool.
have like 15 grains of fentanyl, 1 grain of carfentanil.
Exactly, and I didn't know anything, and that's exactly what this illustration is showing you. It's showing you how much heroin is a liquid dose, and then it shows, just like Joe said, just some, maybe 20 or 30 of the granules of fentanyl, and then it literally shows one of that fentanyl. It's just, obviously, it's an issue in our country, in high school, it's just so scary that these kids can, take one thing and
Cost of fentanyl in those pressed in the package. birds, it's 6 different skills. So, yeah, all the services.
That they've got a number of other states that has not, at least they haven't promoted it here yet, but it could be coming. Yeah.
And, you know, Oasis has been a great partner. We've, done exactly how these are rolling out with, you know, then, you know, encourage parents to have conversations with their children, and you just sit down and explain.
If we can get a digital copy of that, we could post on social media. We could also put in the Saturday newsletter.
I'll email any.
Okay. Are they planning to do the same event that they did last fall? No, the one that they did in the Courier Walk. Is done. They did an event in Courier Walk in October. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's phenomenal.
They haven't done it this year.
Not yet. No. Yeah.
I just have an email that says that, you know, recent changes in the high school, so they've been working with some things, and I don't.
If you have not seen the Hidden in Plain Sight presentation, it's phenomenal. I think every parent, teenagers should watch that or attend that.
So that's the Oasis.
I did not attend.
So with that, anybody? Any comments, questions?
Second.
7:06. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Let me know when we're.